Who's that?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo,
He?
you come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I'm sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho! Who is there? Francis ground.
And liegeman to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Is that it? We're gonna have to cut this out. Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo. Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. What? Has this thing appeared again tonight? I have seen nothing. Horatio says 'tis but our fancy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreadful sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, and if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush. 'Twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, that are so fortified against our story that we 2 nights have seen.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that westward from the pole had made his course to limit that part of heaven, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell began beating 1. Peace! Break thee off! Look where it comes again!
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak it, Horatio. Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio. Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder. It would be spoke too. Question it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurpest this time of night together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark does sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended. See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak! Speak! I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer. How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on't?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve without a sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armour he had on when he is the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once when in angry parley he smote the sledded poleaxe on the ice. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
In what particulars thought to work I know not, but in the gross scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good now. Sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war, why such impress of shipwrights, whose sole task does not divide the Sunday from the week. What might be toward that this sweaty haste doth make the night jaunt labour with the day? Who is't that can inform me?
That can I. At least a whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto picked on by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for those this side of our own known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror, against which a motley competent was engaged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras, that he had been a vanquisher as by the same covenant and carriage of the article design. His fell to Hamlet, now Sir young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal hot and full, having the stalks, skirts of Norway here and there, sharked up a list of lawless resolutes, for food and diet, to some enterprise that has a stomach in't, which is no other as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand in terms compulsatory those foresaid lands so by his father lost, and This, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and roamage in the land.
I think it be no other, but e'en so. Well may it soar that this portentous figure comes over to us through our watch, so like the king that was, and is the question of these wars.
And mote it so. Mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun. And the moist star upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse. And even the like precurse of fierce events, as harbingers proceeding still the fates, and prologue to the omen coming on, of heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climature and countrymen. Soft, behold, lo! When it comes again, I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily for knowing may avoid, oh, speak! If thou hast uphoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it! Stay and speak! Stop it, Marcellus!
Shall I strike at it with my partisan?
Do, if it will not stand.
'Tis here.
'Tis here!
'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence. For it is as the air, invulnerable, and all vain blows malicious mockery.
Bernardo. He was about to speak.
It was about to speak, when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons I have heard. The cock, that is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the gods of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and of a truth herein this present object made probation.
It faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against that season comes wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated. The bird of dawning singeth all night long, and then, they say, no spirit dare stir abroad. The nights are wholesome then, no planets strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is the time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in unrusted mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting our duty? Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently.